Yeah, but okay.
Like, it just, like, I don't know. It just seemed like he was feeling like he didn't see what Gandalf was saying. But then again, he would blatantly deny it when he, like, saw the blade.
It was still, though, like, when Saruman walked in, everyone in the theater and Gandalf and everyone on screen was just like, fucking Saruman. Like, why the fuck is this guy here? Like, you don't like this guy. That's what they were throwing at you, you know?
Yeah.
I thought Gandalf fucking liked Saruman when he saw him.
Yeah, in the beginning of the Fellowship, they're like, "Oh, great friends, yay!"
Yeah, so it was like.
But then again, time span, man, you don't know.
Yeah, maybe
they were just like, you know, I don't know, they were mad at each other.
Saruman cockblocked Gandalf.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, a week before.
It could have been something
movie.
Little. You never know.
Can Gandalf get cockblocked?
No, he's a wizard. Except by another wizard. Oh, my!
It's very true. Right.
But I like the Rivendell scene. I thought the Rivendell scene was beautiful, actually.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah,
I thought that was
filmed.
the okay scene.
It was
the middle ground where it was sort of transitioning.
Yeah, visually this movie is pretty stunning. What do you guys think of the trolls?
Trolls were...
The trolls? I
like that.
I honestly like that scene.
Yeah.
I like that scene, but I feel like it was all because of Bilbo.
Really?
Yeah, I think his acting sort of made it for me.
Right. Yeah.
The dwarves were okay once they were tied up and not
They
running
weren't
around.
doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good scene. That was a funny scene, actually. And I liked how Peter Jackson had that continuity and that foresight to be like, okay, we'll have the trolls freeze in the same way. No, and it's also in the extended edition. It shows the trolls frozen as stone. And I saw this, and they freeze the same way.
Yeah.
In the same positions. And I'm like, good job. Good job. You do what so many directors seem to fail to do, which is provide continuity and connection between the two trilogies.
I think that The Hobbit's more fairy tale like.
Yeah.
And I think that all of
that's I think that's the word for it.
Yeah.
But
it's a little more of like, it's sort of like, it's literally in the beginning of the movie when they say we're going on an adventure, they're going on like an adventure rather than like a quest.
Yeah. I mean, it is a quest. It's just an adventure
It's adventure-y.
I feel like that's all fine. And I feel like I'm okay with that. I just feel like the actual fairy tale-like scenes, I was okay with. Like, the trolls was cool.
Yeah.
And Radagast was kind of annoying at parts, but he was also fine.
But, yeah, he didn't really get in the way of anything.
Yeah. It was mainly... So it wasn't that difference that fucked it up. I think just because it's The Hobbit doesn't mean it's worse, necessarily. Because it's a less serious story. It's just...
No, yeah,
It's just the execution. Yeah.
It was the action scenes that disappointed.
Yeah.
When I look back on it, it was almost purely action, and in turn, if they had less action, there'd be more dialogue, more character development. Yeah. So that's where both two problems just come together and become one.
Okay,
Fucking scores.
Okay, so my summary, I loved the first 45 minutes of this film. It really felt like it held its own, but kept a good consistency as far as action goes with The Lord of the Rings. I had problems with a lot of the other action scenes in the later 2 hours of the film. The Riddles in the Dark scene with Gollum is incredible. I loved it. But overall, this was not nearly as good as any of the other of the original trilogy. It definitely feels like it's set in the same world. A lot of it is vibrant and comes to life, and I like that. But it coming out of the theater, I felt disappointed, and I want to see it again to be sure and like to really like set what I think about the movie. But I'm gonna have to give it a score and give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I just felt like this movie was pretty fucking frantic in terms of just like
Pacing
and action all the time, and the action was just kind of goofy, childish in like ways that it wasn't in the original trilogy. But other than that, I feel like there's some promise in this movie.
Definitely.
I feel like the Necromancer storyline could be very cool.
It could be cool, but it was disappointing in this film.
It was disappointing in this film. It could be cool, though.
Yeah.
All of the storylines have some promise as long as they fix the action, work on character development, and that's about it. And it was just like a few things, because like you said, the first 40 minutes were pretty awesome. And if they did the whole movie like that, it would be good. But yeah, so I'm going to give this movie 6.5 out of 10.
All right, so I'm also a little torn here. I'm also a little biased because I can't help but compare it to the trilogy.
How could you not? All Peter Jackson pokes at the fucking trilogy so much. He's like, remember this? Remember?
Yeah,
I
think that my main problem was that although I was really pleased with some of the characters, Gandalf is sort of as good.
Definitely.
As before. Bilbo, I think, has a wonderful performance. He sort of made the movie for me. The backstory is excellent, and they have a few really, really good scenes, but I think the main thing it's missing is sort of that sense of awe and, like, investment that you feel with especially good movies. But, you know, with that said, you could think of a lot of really, really worse movies that are being made today.
More specifically, you can think of a lot worse fantasy movies as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd say overall, if I had just walked into the theater to see this movie without having known much information to begin with, I would have probably given it. I bequeath upon this film an 8.
So. Okay, so I just came back from seeing the 48 frames per second version of The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey. The only thing I have to say is I have no idea what people are talking about. It didn't give me a headache at all. It was a little strange for the first 5 minutes, but as soon as I got used to it, it was an amazing experience. Actually, it was so much more clear and fluid, and you really felt like you were looking inside of a box into another world or something. It was really amazing. Not to mention, it made the 3D so much more tolerable. It gave me no eye strain. It was actually a great experience, and it made me enjoy the film a lot more. I honestly came out of the movie thinking that, feeling a lot better about the movie after than I had the first time when I saw it in IMAX 3D. I don't know why. Maybe it was because of my expectations or something, but it was a much more enjoyable experience. So I do recommend seeing it in 48 frames per second. Thanks for watching.